And everyone is so taken by that it just lifts them out of the normality of their existence. You know, you see this joy just transfuse them. And that's because they got an intimation of genuine meaning.
So this is a quick video I wanted to make to react to Jordan Peterson's latest appearance on the Joe Rogan podcast. A short discussion on music caught my ear. The way Jordan Peterson describes music, both objectively and subjectively, is eerily similar to Schopenhauer. For example, let's roll a clip and while you're listening, replace the word patterns with the word will.
So let's think about what music is. First of all, it's a pattern. And so, what's the world? Well, the world's made of objects. It's like, no, it's not. It's made of patterns. So music is just like the world, because the world's made of patterns.
This is basically Schopenhauer's conception of music. For Schopenhauer, music is the perfect art form because it is not representational, yet it does invoke an aesthetic experience in us. Because of this, music must resonate with our experience of the world. Now remember, for Schopenhauer, the world appears to us in two ways, as will and as representation. But since music is not representational, it cannot resonate with our experience of the world as representation. So what does it resonate with? With the will, of course. Peterson says the same thing but in a different vocabulary. Music brings us in tune directly with the fundamental metaphysical reality. In this way, it's different from painting or literature, which use representations or pictures. These art forms are embedded in the world as representation. A painting is a picture of something in the world. It's anchored to representational reality. Music has no such picture. Music is something different. This is why Schopenhauer writes, "Music stands alone, quite cut off from all the other arts. In it, we do not recognize the copy or repetition of any idea of existence in the world. Yet it is such a great and exceedingly noble art. Its effect on the inmost nature of man is so powerful, and it is so entirely and deeply understood by him in his inmost consciousness as a perfectly universal language." I'm not sure how familiar Peterson is with Schopenhauer. Obviously, he's read Nietzsche and Carl Jung, both of whom were influenced by him. But to my knowledge, Jordan Peterson has never really mentioned Schopenhauer. But is Peterson accurately describing music when he simply calls it a pattern? Not from the Schopenhauerian perspective. In fact, Schopenhauer explicitly argues against a mathematical view of music. We certainly have more to look for it than a hidden arithmetic exercise of the soul which does not know that it is counting, which is how Leibniz called it. Now, back in his day, this was a popular view of music. Remember that we live in the post-romantic era right now. Philosophy at that point was not so much concerned with the inner experience of things in the way the Romantics, including Schopenhauer, were. Schopenhauer does concede Leibniz was right, but only when you look at music from the outside. Yet he was perfectly right, as he considered only its immediate external significance, its form. But if it were nothing more, the satisfaction which it affords would be like that which we feel when a sum in arithmetic comes out right, and could not be that intense pleasure with which we see the deepest recesses of our nature find utterance. I'm sure Peterson would agree with the above quotation, but he is lacking the metaphysical system of Schopenhauer, and he finds no vocabulary to describe why music feels much more intense than doing math. He's stuck at calling it a pattern, in effect reducing it to some kind of mathematical exercise.
And then music has layered patterns that are all moving together in a harmonious manner.
But this ignores the rich inner experience that music affords us. And, as we shall see, Peterson does experience this rich inner feeling, but he lacks the technical vocabulary which a metaphysical system like Schopenhauer's would afford him. When you subscribe to Schopenhauer's system, the pattern, in Peterson's words, is the will. But the will, of course, is not simply a pattern. It's a real metaphysical substrate of reality. Music then allows us to have intimate knowledge of this metaphysical substrate. We can experience the world directly as it is, beyond the suffering and multiplicity of the world as representation. Music for Schopenhauer comes really close to a mystical experience, in that it allows us to fleetingly experience the ultimate unity of the world. Peterson even touches upon this near the end of the clip.
Oh man, I went to this bar in Nashville. This band was playing Kelly's Heroes, a great guitarist, best guitarist I've ever seen. He's like dancing on the edge of chaos and order in this virtuosic manner. And everyone is so taken by that it just lifts them out of the normality of their existence. You know, you see this joy just transfuse them, and that's because they got an intimation of genuine meaning. And it's not amenable to rational criticism, which is the thing that I thought that struck me as so miraculous about music, and why it has this element of salvation. It's like it puts you directly in touch with the meaning that sustains you in life, directly.
Anyway, I wanted to quickly make this video because Peterson, perhaps subconsciously, touches upon some pretty Schopenhauerian ideas. We covered Schopenhauer's ideas on music in much more detail here on the channel, specifically in part 3 of our big series on Schopenhauer's main work, The World as Will and Representation. We'll leave a link in the description. I know a lot of Peterson fans are into Nietzsche as well, but a good knowledge of Schopenhauer is, in my view at least, absolutely necessary in order to fully grasp Nietzsche. So hopefully this video can serve as an inspiration to check out this great thinker and philosopher. But if you want more Nietzsche, we've got you covered as well. Check out our big analysis videos on Beyond Good and Evil and the genealogy of morals, for example. Links in the description. We upload new videos every Wednesday with a major focus on Nietzsche and Schopenhauer. So subscribe if you don't want to miss these. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.